Hello, my name is Emily Genazzo and I'm 18 years old. I am currently attending Stanley Humphrey Secondary School and I'm making this application for the fine arts. My motivation comes from the freedom to create whatever my mind desires. I love sitting down and creating an image on paper from my mind or the world around me. Coming up with my own design style for backgrounds, people, or creatures is something I've been working on for a few years now. It has taken a lot of different attempts and different styles to get where I am today. A lot of research, trial and error, and physical attempts are how I further pursue my excellence in the fine arts. The biggest impacts that I find both challenging and rewarding are the ones that physically and emotionally exhaust me. That being said, the longer I take on my art piece, the more rewarding I feel at the end of it. Taking risks and trying something new is always something I'm open to doing. This project right here is of me creating a plaster mask from scratch. I first started off by sketching out an idea of what I wanted my mask to look like. I then got help with plastering my face. After the mask was dried and sanded, I had to make sure I found the right shade of gold to spray paint it. The next step was to glue on the antlers, and I made the antlers from scratch. That was from wire, tape, and paper mache. Once everything was glued on, I then bought some little yellow gems to stick onto the entire mask besides the antlers. The task alone took many hours because I placed each individual gem on by hand. Overall, this project really showed me that I'm not just an artist who draws on paper alone, I'm also capable of doing many other things in the large field of fine arts. Some of my highlights are my backgrounds and my creatures. I never used to like doing backgrounds, all because they were really difficult to draw. All the small detail, the trees, the everything about it was just much of a challenge. Now I find that creating backgrounds is more fun than it used to be. This is all because I found a new style to try out. This new style is something that I've been practicing for a while, and it just made drawing backgrounds a lot easier. An example of this style is my traditional Japanese building and all the little details. I really love doing all the little details. It really brings a piece together, in my opinion. I also really love taking mass amounts of time on each project. I think that really gives you more of a rewarding experience than if you just took 10 minutes on an art piece. There's a lot of commitment when it comes to researching what you want to do, gathering the materials, actually starting the project, keeping your motivation to continue the project going, and finally finishing all the little details at the end of your project. The research part for me is just looking up different ways I could go about doing any art piece. I think it's the most important stage of starting any kind of art project. Me personally, if I don't have a plan of what I'm gonna draw, I find it difficult to motivate myself to actually finish the art piece. When I begin any form of art, I don't always love doing the starting portion of it. It can be a bit slow and messy. However, when it comes to about the middle of the art project, it starts to get more interesting because you have more stuff completed. The ending of any art project is honestly my favorite, all because I get to add all my little details and everything. This portion usually takes the longest, but that's the kind of stuff that I really love doing. A short term goal for me is to attempt different kinds of art forms in the future, like creating collages, creating sculptures out of clay, and all that. However, a long term goal is to incorporate my art into my future job of becoming an art therapist. Art therapy isn't something that is too well known yet, so I did some research and found it to be quite interesting. I would really love to be able to help people express themselves in a nonverbal way than just a verbal one. I believe that you can't just express yourself with words coming out of your mouth or on paper, but in a form of art. It could be a painting, it could be a sculpture of a feeling you're feeling, or just something you love. Thank you for your consideration.